Hello, we're the August 1823 Stitchers. That's Sally.
And that's Angie.
And Jack's down there, and we forgot to give him a TREAT.
But he's being quiet.
Or take him out, so hopefully he will be quiet.
Yes.
Today we're going to do previous finishes. We have some fair projects that we want to show you our ribbons for. We have some FFOs, some FOs, new starts, some whips, stash investments, needles up, report of a Zoom we were on, tools of the tube, and I'm going to share a tool that I especially like on our Flosstube, our plans, and then we'll say sayonara.
Mm-hmm.
We'd like to welcome you to Flosstube 24. Today is, did I not say what today is? November 12th, 2024. We'd like to thank you for coming and subscribing to our channel, hopefully. We would like to encourage you as newcomers to continue to watch our Flosstube. And we'd like to thank those of you who keep returning, who are our loyal followers. Few that they are, compared to everybody else.
Quality.
All right, so first we'll start with our previous finishes.
That is so far away.
Okay,
There you
that
go.
didn't make you sick.
Oh, sorry about that.
First of all, Sherry, our president from like 20 years ago in our local embroidery of Florence area, introduced us to Biscornu by giving us a mystery pattern, telling us to stitch it twice, telling us we could do it monochromatic, we could split it up into colors. It all had the same symbol throughout, and you would be amazed at what everybody came up with.
Yeah, I can't find mine.
This is what I came up with. I'm continuing to use it, and it is, I'm a bright colored person. I actually worked on black, which back then I could do 14 count black. I can't possibly do that now, but
Are those beads or pins?
I put a bead on each of the points of the Biscornu. I did the exact same thing top and bottom. I put a yellow button in the middle. I use this, especially I keep my frogger in it, which is another previous finish, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
In our chapter, we made a frogger with an actual frog bead on it, and I use that all the time to take out my stitches. So that's one of our previous finishes. We both did a block party.
Yes.
Uh,
I did the home block, and these are hands-on designs, and I used the DMC equivalent.
Big difference in size.
I did mine on 28 count.
And I did mine
Two.
on 22 count.
No, you did not. 20 count. Yeah,
Whatever
20
it
count.
was, it was way too small, so it took me like 6 months to stitch.
Yeah, but you have the you actually have the pins
And
too.
I got the wolf pins, and I use those for my counting pins. And I use the center part especially. Hopefully I didn't get the stitching with all my needles. So I actually use my block. These two sit beside me on my chair.
Mine's for decoration.
I don't know if you saw all the little doggies, and I mean little doggies. That's the smallest thing I think I've ever stitched.
I like it on 20 count though. It's adorable.
Well, it might be, but I didn't feel adorable as I was stitching it, so.
Pushed you outside your comfort zone, like you do me.
I'm
a
glad
lot.
it was done. I'm glad I had the experience, because this is a mattress finish. It's not a Biscornu. It actually looks like a mattress, although it's a square. And it's really easy to put together if you have strength in your little fingers. I don't, so I think Candy put mine together.
She did.
So
She did.
I actually put the Biscornu myself years ago together, and mine was one of the harder ones because I had that really stiff Ada,
Yes, you did.
and it took a lot of strength to
Get under those stitches.
get it, especially in the corners, get that needle through the corners. So, But those, Biscornu is really easy to make, and so is the mattress block.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're like me and you have lost strength in your fingers and hands. And then hopefully you have friends who help, or a finisher. All right, so that's our previous finishes.
Finisher.
We'll move on to our fair extravaganza. I put in 3 and Sally put in 7.
Yes.
So I'm gonna let Sally do like 2 at a time.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with my third place finishes. And I think I know why this one was a third place, because I really need to unframe it and reframe it. I didn't stretch it far enough. It's Sally Spencer, Birds of a Feather. I did it on probably 28 count vintage country mocha linen. I don't think it was 36. And I used the DMC equivalent. I didn't use the call for fancy flosses. And then the other third place I did the Seaside Frill, and I made it into a little square, a little box. And these are the DMC equivalents. When Angie and I did the Seaside Tiny Town, Angie brightened up the colors, but I went back to the original DMC equivalents.
For,
yeah, well, I didn't do the fancy floss, I did the DMCs.
Okay, so I started this. This was my oldest whip. Now it's not, because it's done. This is Lizzie Kate's Time for God. It's a bell pull. I got the bell pull at Sandy's Cross Stitch on the Go, and got a blue ribbon. And here it is. Here's a close-up of it. I actually used all the fancy floss. It's the first time I ever used fancy floss. Sherry talked me into it. She was the owner of Berri Patch, the store, which is where I got the pattern and everything from. It says, happy times, praise God. Difficult times, seek God. Quiet times, worship God. Hard times, trust God. All times, thank God. Very powerful words. Sherry no longer owns the Berri Patch store, unfortunately, in Hartsville, but she has a Berri Patch on Etsy, where she sells what we call poor man's pearls, which is buttons and bead lanyards and scissors fobs and
stitching trays.
She has stitching trays,
needle minders,
little sewn up Ort things that snap together. All kinds of goodies. You should check out Berri Patch, Berri with an I, on Etsy, and you'll find all kinds of good stuff. So that's my first fair one.
Okay, hang on. All right. So I had a second place. I drink and stitch with my margarita glass, which I haven't had a margarita in 4 weeks. Well, I hadn't had margarita in a long time. I hadn't had alcohol in 4 weeks. And it's on a ivory, probably a 28 count Lugana.
I didn't say any of that stuff.
In my favorite colors, purple and green. Amethyst and peridot. All right. And then I did the decaf Y.
I love this one.
And I finished it on this cup and put a little, anyway, got a nice little blue ribbon for that one. And that's on 20 count. That's an Auri TM. I have the others in that series, like espresso and...
Is that a coffee button on that?
It is a coffee button I got from Amazon.
And just to say about this, decaf coffee still has caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
But not as much, but it still has caffeine. So decaf, why?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, be different if it was totally without caffeine, but it does. So.
Doesn't have enough for me.
I love that piece.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll let you borrow the pattern.
No, thank you.
Why?
I have others. I have too many. All right.
Don't we all?
So this one is by Little Stitch Girl. I did this on the fabric that I got from Sherry's store, Berri Patch, 20-some years ago. But the pattern was new. Year before not this year, so it must have been last year. I got the pattern from Needlework Marketplace, and when I ordered it, it was at the time when you just got the kit with the specialty threads as well as the pattern. So I used all the specialty threads that came with it, whether I liked it or not. I prefer DMC or Egyptian cotton, but most of this is Weeks Dye Works threads, and it starts with George and Martha holding the flagpole, and it goes through a lot of historical figures until it ends with Thomas Jefferson. These are all historical figures from 1776, like Betsy Ross, James Armistead, I think Benjamin Banneker, Molly Pitcher, John Adams and his wife, who I always want to say Jane, but I know that's not right, Abigail. Is her name Abigail? I don't know what her name is, but
I think it is Abigail.
So there's a lot of, I think that's Ben Franklin, I'm not sure. Anyway, the flag is very long, but I got her done at the Privies and Prim retreat and was able to ring the bell. So that was pretty cool. It got second place.
Excuse me, Jack. Excuse me, buddy. Sorry, we had to do on some. I thought she liked the ginger ale. Alright, so I did a Bent Creek snow globe, the nativity snow globe, and ta-da! This was a fun piece. It's the one where you use pearl cotton and you do it over 2 on 18 count. And then this was a free pattern. I ordered some patterns from Thread Milk Designs, and she sent me this one.
I like that one.
And I stitched it in the colors I wanted to use, or similar to what she requested. And
where'd you get the frame?
I got the frame at Goodwill. I got a pair of them. Actually, it had 2 paper cuttings in it, little girl and little boy, and I took them out and made a frame. I mean, used the frame. It's plastic, but it doesn't look plastic. You want to do your last one?
Yep.
And then I'll do my last one.
Sally finished all 3 for me, in case I haven't said that. This is my 3rd and last one from the fair, and it got a blue ribbon. I call this Jacques Clouseau because of his mouth. It looks like a little mustache there and reminded me of the Pink Panther. But it's actually Mighty Wonder Whale by Forrest Embroidery. It's all DMC, and I changed all the colors but the gray that forms the color of the whale, because it was very pale and I wanted it to be more saturated. So I kept pretty much the same colors. Like they called for a green, and I stayed in the same family, but I made it a real dark green. And Memory from Barefoot Needlearts helped me out. But Sally put this project bag together. I have a lot of whale projects, so this is going to hold the whales.
And it's 15 by 15 total.
And it zips
Across
at the top. I don't like vinyl ones. They're fine for everybody else, but I've had patterns stick to vinyl.
That's what they say.
Used to be like when Sandy's cross stitches go, cross
stitch on the go.
Cross stitch on the go. She had these all vinyl bags that had black zippers and black handles, and I must have bought like 10 of them, and I put all my, at the time I probably only had 10 projects. Long time ago. But anyway, I lost some patterns that way. So the inside, Sally used a polka dot. Is that polka dots or squares?
Yeah, it's a polka dot.
Red
with a white
polka dot on a white, and I'll be able to see everything. I'm just very happy with that. So
that's what you do.
Yay. I'm so happy for something to keep all my wheel projects in.
And the last piece I have is it's in memory of my mother, Agnes Lyle, and it's by Whilst Iris Snaps. It was a reproduction sampler, and it was fun to stitch. It's on 36 count linen. I don't do a lot of linen, but you know, I can stitch my, and I like houses.
Very angled. Can you show them?
Well, I didn't want to, the ring light was kind of in the way.
Yeah, I don't know why.
You know, there's a glare because there's glass on this one. There we go.
So, that concludes all of our fair projects. I think we did pretty well, although I was looking at my previous years, and last year I had 17 finishes and 10 went to the fair. And this year I had maybe 7. I haven't counted that up yet. Only 3 went to the fair because the others were gifts that had to be sent on. But a lot of them were bigger than, you know, when I had 17 finishes, they were pretty small. So this next year, I'm going to do some more smalls just because I went like 6 months without a finish and it just about killed me. I felt like I was not getting anywhere. I was floundering. All right, so.
And that's why my fish and chips is not done. Now we want to do our FFOs.
Yes, it's time for FFOs, which I have none. Sally?
Fully finished, obviously. I have, I get a monthly ornament kit from Annie's, and as soon as I show this, I need to take something to D, and I'll let you kind of, we're not stopping. Anyway, so you had 9, and these are all on wood that came with everything.
Where'd you get them from?
From Annie's monthly ornament club.
Is that like Annie B's or?
No, Annie's. Annie's.
The one like the Annie's on the web?
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Okay.
That now does the just cross stitch.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You just.
So I have one finished object. You don't have any more FFOs, right?
No, that's it.
Okay. I have one finished object. I won. This is I won 4 patterns from Stitching with the Housewives for one of my month-to-month finishes on the barn, and I was wearing their shirt, so it was like a Flosstube hurrah. I can't remember what they called it. Anyway, I won a gift card that paid for 4 patterns. This was one of the ones I chose. It's called Fairy Tale. I can't see a thing, that's why I can't do this.
I'll do it.
It's called Fairy Tale Pumpkin Seeds. I don't know. Anyway, all I wanted was the gingham. I'd never done gingham. So that's why I picked this up. And it was fall, and Laura, Stitchin by the Shore, had her annual birthday pumpkin sale, or birthday pumpkin sow. Put that back in there.
Yeah, I will.
For me. One of the reasons I didn't do it is because I didn't want to do it on white or black like they had it. I certainly couldn't do that. So I decided to go with my lovely choice of the fabric. I bought so much of this stuff because Barefoot had a bunch of these packages of
Smaller pieces.
blueberry, 5 run a whim.
Yep.
That's what it was, 5 run a whim. Now, this is actually a purple. When it's on Ada, it turns more purple. But in South Carolina, we have a team called Clemson, and orange and purple kind of take over the state. So I thought, well, orange and purple go together.
It's the sunsets.
That's what I did. I love doing the gingham. If I find more gingham, I'd like to do it because it was fun. Just takes 3 colors.
What count is that?
This is 16 count.
Okay, because the 18 count looks more purple.
Yeah,
You're doing something on 18 count.
It gets even more. I got a bunch of, they had 14, 16, and 18. And after I get done with my 18s, I'm not purchasing any more 18s. Let me just put it that way because I can't do it. So here's my finish that you can work on. And this I need to,
there.
What do you call it? Recycle.
Yes.
Because it's a PDF.
It's a PDF, yes.
So I'm done with it. I will never do it again.
What? You don't want to do another?
No. Once I've done something, I got so much else to do. I don't have time to do another one. All right. So that was an FO. Did you have an FO?
Oh my gosh, I do. I forgot. I'm not modeling it though. I have my interpretation of a hexie cardigan. my aunt had a bunch of skeins of this. It's Earth and Sky, I think. It's by Red Heart. So it's that good scratchy stuff. But I have a cardigan, and it even has a little scalloped edge on the front. Yep. There's a sleeve. You make 2 hexagons, and you sew them together. And then I added, a pattern I was looking at added a little scallop border.
Can you put it into the hexagon shape where it
was? It's kind of hard
sewn
to
together. You can't see it.
It's sewn together, so you kind of can't see the hexagon. But it starts out 6, and I'm not sure if I started this one with a magic loop or if I did my original. I know that the pattern I was using, once you got to the end of a round, instead of slip stitching over to the corner and going again, you just slip stitched it to the next stitch, chain 3, turned, and went back the other way. So
gorgeous.
So, well, thank you. So I'm working on a Christmas one, but it's only half done. I got about 9 more rows to go, and then I can put it together. All right, I totally forgot about that one.
All right.
I don't think
We're on the new starts then.
Yes, and I had a new start, but I think I might have left it at my house. I did, because I don't see it in my, oh, nope. I found it. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I've got mine buried under here. So.
Okay, so my new start is, it was an ornament kit. There were 4 kits in the Christmassy stitching box that everything cross stitch does. They used to do, I think it was quarterly. Now they've dropped it down to 3. I'm not sure, but anyway, this was one of them. It's a stained glass poinsettia, and I was just playing with stitching in hand. Occasionally I do that, and this is as far as I got. But it came with everything. Here's, oh, oops, you can't, I don't want to show you the pattern. But in that box, it also came with a, and that's where that needle got to. A size 24 needle holder with you could put it on a chatelaine if you had one. And this was done by Amy at Barefoot Needlearts. And it had the hoop and the threads and 2 needles. Complete kit. And like I said, there's 4 of them, but I only started this one, so I only brought that one.
Okay, so I have a new start, and I got it from this pattern from Etsy from Little Apple Stitchery. The price was very, very good for their patterns, and they have some really cute patterns. So this is called Pilgrim Turkey. Am I holding it? I don't know what I'm doing. And it is on 16 count latte. And here is what I've stitched so far. I've got his face and his wattle. You know, that little piece that hangs off his beak is called a wattle. I'm getting ready to do the hat on top, the pilgrim hat on top. And I'll just keep working with him until he's done. Now, fall lasts through December 20th. But I'm going to finish this guy. I'm hoping I won't go into December 20th, but who knows. That's the only new start I have.
Okay, that was the only new start I had to. Okay. Well, I did those ornaments, but they were starting to finish, so. Okay.
So we're up to whips.
Whips, yeah. I'm putting a note here for myself. Okay, so I worked on this whip a little bit more than I've worked on any other whip, to tell you the truth. And it is Spring Quaker, because I like the colors, because, you know, it's purple. And I'm doing it on 18 count Mushroom Ada. If I'd have known, if I looked at the pattern, I'd realized that I had to split some stitches, but it's okay. I got it. And I got a hanging thread as usual, and I'm working on a bird up in the top. So ignore the hanging thread. Here's where I am. The last time I only had like this starburst down here, or this flower, this Quaker motif, but I've added the birds and the back stitch, birdhouses and the back stitching. So I've gotten over to the far Left. Well, right. Left, because this is my left-hand side. There we go. Far left. And that's by Primrose Cottage. Called for threads.
Okay. Autumn bell pull, as you can see, I worked underneath the pumpkin once the pumpkin was done, and I did more of the letter A. This is a very, very large pattern, and I wanted it to go on a bell pull that I had previously bought for it from PnB Making Memories. And in order for it to fit on this bell pull, there's the bottom, which I thought was just lovely. And here's the top. It says fall, even though it's going to say autumn down the way. I thought this was perfect. But then I discovered the only way to have it fit is if I used 18 count. So
It's 18 count.
it's 18 count. And I tried and tried and tried to work on this. First of all, this is kind of hard to handle while sitting in a chair. I don't have a stand. I have to hold this and stitch it at the same time. Sally tightened this as tight as a drum pretty much, and that helped a lot because I could see the holes a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just too much for me, and I will never finish this. I would have to be 102 before I finish this, I think, at the rate I'm working on it. So I've decided that this is a UFO. So I'm going to give this away, scroll frame and all, grime guards, everything, gone, because I'm just going to work on small Q snaps and nerdges from now on. And here's the problem. I also,
All the others.
through, I also kitted up winter and spring and summer with the fabric and the threads and all the pictures of the charts photocopied larger so I could actually see the charts, because they put each letter on one page in here. Stony Creek. What surprised me about this is, even though it's Stony Creek, there was very little backstitching. Most of the backstitching are these words that are, you know, talking about God. So I really liked it, but I can't do this. I'm gonna ask my friends if they want it, because I can't take it anymore. So they're gonna get the fabric, patterns.
Maybe we could do a round robin.
I don't know about doing the threads, giving away the threads. It took me a long time to gather all those threads. I put a lot of money
But you're giving
into
away
that.
ground guard and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, I
don't
think
know. Maybe we could do as a round robin with our chapter.
Well, somebody besides me has to stitch. I'm done. I can't stitch anymore on it because I could feel my blood pressure going up. My hands were shaking. My eyes were weary. I just can't do it anymore. So that one is UFO'd.
Okay.
Speaking of fall.
Yeah, well, I have my Paisley Pumpkin, which I've been sorely lacking in stitching on it. And this is by Rosewood Manor. And I used the call for color of the fabric and the count, but I used 32 count Lugana, and it's Heritage by Picture This Plus, and the call for DMCs. And the DMCs are beautiful. And since you last saw it, I have stitched these little stitches right here. And you see, I just have this to go. So I have what? 1, 2, 3, 3 leaves, a flower, and another leaf down here. So 4 leaves. And anyway, and it'll be done.
And I have watched her. I thought she'd get it done at the Prim and Privies retreat.
I thought so too, but I did not.
Between the artsy sale, or was it hay?
Artisty.
Or artisty sale.
I refused to do a hay.
And, you know, talking and...
Well, you know, I am a social person.
She's a very social person.
I am a middle
I was
child.
there stitching away, you know. That's why I finished the whale, and that's why I finished the party in 1776, because I was stitching away.
Well, I was stitching, but
So.
I think if I'd had it on a, if I'd had it on Ada instead of, it's on an even weave.
Yeah.
And so that takes a little more. And this piece, though, has a buttload of colors. And that's the problem. You do 5 stitches, you got to change your color. 5, because I don't like to count really far over, even if I use counting pins or whatever. I like to finish the section and go on.
Well, this is my Indian. When you saw him before, he just had his head done, and now I have finished his headdress. It comes from SATA Stitch's 10 Little Indians. And the one that I chose was the guy sitting by the campfire down at the bottom next to the last one. He's sitting at the campfire roasting a marshmallow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Indians had marshmallows back then. It might not be very accurate. Might be what do they call it? Anachronism? With whatever, yeah, anachronism where something's out of time, because the Indians, I'm not even sure marshmallows were invented back then.
I don't think so, because they're just sugar and cornstarch.
So not only did I get his headdress done, but I did all the back stitching, and man, did the back stitching make a huge difference. The face, the feathers, oh my gosh. And the needle minder that you see there is from Privies camping retreat. That was one of the Circes we got.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been watching her Flosstube, she's finally into the tiny house. She has a lot of stuff that she thought was going to fit in that little tiny house that she can't do, but she's finally out of the apartment and into the tiny house. So that's pretty cool for her. I plan on continuing to work on this Indian. Help me with that one.
I sure will.
I can't get those things back in there. Have to take them out so there's not a glare. And then
Yeah,
I can't get them back in.
I don't get the non-glare ones. Sorry, they come from.
It's okay. The non-glare ones have a gray tone over them,
Yeah,
so
they do.
don't work quite as well.
Well, my next whip is Sunset. They're those orange and purple colors. By Vivsters. And I have worked a little more on it. Oops. Not only is there a hanging thread, the needle didn't even go through. So I'm doing I'm technically doing the upper, actually it goes this way. Sorry. The upper left-hand corner, and I'm thinking that once I finish that, that's all she wrote. But I decided to do some color completing, as you can tell. So I did put some more stitches in over here. And that's DMC called for colors on 16 count Ada.
All right. So
That's all my whips.
still working on the birthday pumpkin sale that Laura did. I found a big pumpkin square on every season, which I've been working on. This now is my second oldest whip. I've been working on this since 2020. And this is on 14 count moss celadon.
Tiny Modernist is the designer.
Pretty much all the threads were called for, but sometimes we picked the specialty thread, sometimes we picked the DMC. It just depended. And even one, we completely changed one of the browns. It wasn't even...
Did we?
Yeah, we did 3031 is we put in for one of the browns.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I didn't know
too.
that till I started. I had to use some brown to do the pumpkin stem on this. I didn't quite finish the square, but I did finish the pumpkin. Except for the vines that connect the leaves, and I have to get the yellow done
Yeah,
because that's
the background,
backstitch.
yeah.
But I was very pleased to get that much done because some days I'm lucky if I get 30 stitches. This week, 5 days in a row, I did not stitch.
I've been crocheting.
I didn't even do that.
I've been crocheting.
I basically sat there and tried not to scratch because my psoriasis has been so bad.
Oh.
So, I'm going to continue to work on this one, on the fall section. This is one that I'm going to work on fall, winter, and summer. Spring is done, so spring I'll take a break.
There you go. Work on something else.
So, that's good to know that I'll have a break from it because it's a lot. You have any more whips?
Nope. That's all
I have. I think
whips.
I just have one.
I had just 3.
What's this? Yeah, I just have one.
Okay.
And it's a doozy. Well, it's not a doozy, but I've got this one in this tiger lily bag that Sally gave me for my birthday. And I started this pattern. I did all the gridding. And I looked at the X's and I was not happy. Because they're X's. They're not, the blocks aren't filled in. They're obviously X's. And I thought, if that's what it's all going to be. So I did the flower, thinking, maybe it's like black and it's thin and, maybe that's what's going on. But the flower, you see the light going through the holes. I mean, it's pretty, but I wasn't happy. Well, then I watched Bern Stitches, B-E-R-N. Her name's Bernadette, I think, actually.
I've watched her.
And she was talking about this Temu deal that she got on Egyptian cotton. She got 447 colors for like 20 bucks. So I immediately went to Temu, which I had never used. And I thought, I can't go wrong with this. If it's the same as DMC, then, why not? And the reason I was sold is she said that it was thicker than DMC, so it filled up 14 count. So I ordered it, and guess what? I tried it. Look at the brown stitch right there next to the orange stitch right underneath it. You can't see an X on the orange. The block is filled in. You can see that I did an X, but it doesn't look like an X like the brown does. So I'm very happy. I'm going to do whatever I can to do anything on 14 count with this. Now the other problem I had was I didn't like the reds and pinks. I didn't like the browns in there. And it took me several, I guess, couple years. I don't know how long I've had this pattern to come up with the right colors. I went over to Barefoot Needlearts. Memory is wonderful. She'll let me go, but then she'll pull the reins when I go too crazy. So this is how my colors have turned out. Instead of the reds and pinks, I now have done purples.
And blues.
And instead of the browns in the flowers that look like, to me, dried flower arrangements, I got blues. More blues, because I like blue. Blue is my favorite color. So this is DMC, and look at the beautiful colors. I was very pleased. Thank you, Memory. I love you to death, and you're in my thoughts and prayers for what you're going through right now. So, I only got 35 stitches done in it, and in 2 days. That's how bad it's been for me this week. I just couldn't. This is a big piece. I'm gonna have to put everything in a smaller, few snaps, because it makes my hand shake too much to hold. But I'm gonna continue to work on what I call the fall flowers, which are the orange and yellow ones, and on flea market flowers. So,
all right.
Where are we now?
I think we're up to stash enhancement, unless you want to do something different first.
When did you have needles up?
After stash enhancement.
Okay, then that's fine.
All right.
Stash
Enhancement?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I ordered the holiday gingerbread box from Barefoot Needlearts. And if you ordered it and haven't looked at it, or you haven't gotten it, then turn away. But I knew from the description that it had at least 2 patterns.
Where did you get this?
Barefoot Needlearts.
Oh my
It
gosh.
popped up on, I either got an email or it was on Facebook. I'm not sure which. but you get 2 patterns. This is a Snowflake Gingerbread, as gingerbread themed, obviously. And then the Beachy Gingerbread Getaway. And then, of course, obviously, you get the threads to do it in. And Amy made a magnetic frame to...
With a 3D printer?
Yeah.
Is that wood?
No, it's plastic.
Oh.
I haven't even unwrapped it. And they included an Orc tray, the finishing materials, a beading needle and an embroidery needle, a cute little tree notepad, some tea, which I can drink, and then some hard candy, which I'm on a no sugar, low carb eating plan, so I don't eat that. And then the 2 pieces, the perforated paper to go with it, to stitch it with.
So was it worth the money?
I think so, just for the gadgets itself, because I love
like
gadgets.
that thing because is that something you take apart and you put together on your
It's a 3-inch
perforated paper to hold
I'm
it?
assuming that's what it is. That's kind of what that's
Pretty cool.
when it said it included one of these. I was like, ooh.
That's
So
what
that's why I
that's
ordered
what I
it
like.
mainly.
And it's got barefoot needle on it.
It
That's pretty
does,
cool.
and I like gadgets, so I'm pretty sure that.
Oh my goodness.
It's got the magnets. And that's
That's
perfect
great.
for the ornament size
I need a
ones.
small one. Yeah, I need a small one to hold paper. I have a large one from Wonderland or UK or whatever.
I use
Ukraine.
stretcher bars. I make the little stretcher bar kits and just tack them
Small,
on
I've
that.
just been putting washi tape on the edge and
Well, yeah, I do too that and do it in hand. And they're full coverage pieces, but it's okay. I just thought it was cute. I liked it. And I thought I got lots of
this is one of mine. It's I ordered small easels from Amazon, and this time I got the larger easels because they had it was like on the Black Friday sales or whatever. Not liking this as much as a small one because it's got this bolt that shows over here on the side.
Yeah, but if you get a piece big enough to cover it, you won't see it.
But I like it's got a little lip right here. The other one didn't. The little one didn't have a lip. So this might actually hold some of the things better.
It would hold your
It's
month
got
to
a
month.
string to keep it from going too far, and it's a sturdy. It's not a string. It's actually
A cord.
a cord of some sort, a waxed cord of some sort.
It would hold your month to month.
Yeah.
And it would. I think they would cover up that screw at the top.
Yeah. So I ordered a box of. It's either 10 or 12 of them for definitely a good price. And I don't have an Amazon store for you to order from. I just recommend you go to Amazon and look it up if you're interested.
Oh yeah.
A large easel was what it was under.
Affiliated links.
You have more haul, just like I do.
Yes.
You do.
So-
I bet you do all your patterns and I'll do mine.
Well, when Angie asked me to print something, it was from SATA Stitch, and I looked and SATA Stitch was having a sale, so I bought a few PDFs. Winter Village.
I love SATA Stitch. That Indian, I love their patterns.
After stitching American Gothic, I like the little miniatures. So I got the Water Lily Pond from Claude Monet, and my printer was running out of colored ink, so it's not exact true. And she also had the Autumn Village on sale.
Now, see, that's the only tier tray I'd be interested in doing are those houses.
And then Fire Evening by Paul Klee. I don't know who he is, but I like the colors. And this would be an easy peasy piece. And then last but not least, Cat and Bird by Paul Klee.
I've never seen that one either. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. The back stitching really makes that.
Just show me one thing. Where's the bird?
It's right here in between his eyes. Right there.
Okay.
So that was my SATA Stitch haul. I got some 1, 2, 3 stitch haul, but you want to do your other pattern?
Oh, okay. I
that's what
have
this is.
Etsy haul. That's what I have. I went crazy. And I honestly don't know who I bought what from. So unless it says on here, I don't know. I fell in love with celestial orcas. I love whales. And I've got my whale bag to put all my whale patterns in now. Look at this pattern. Oops. I forgot.
Well, if you hold it sideways, it's not too
There you go. You hold it. I'm shaking and it's glaring.
How's that?
Isn't that gorgeous? And I was looking at some of my fabric that I have, and this, I think I got this from Fat Quarter Shop.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
And it's printed on one side, and the other side's just white. It's not purple like you would think. It's just white.
They go through.
So I wouldn't do it. But look at that. Don't you think the celestial whales would look good on that?
I think so.
Looks spacey. I have to choose where to go, but I think that'd be so cool. So I actually changed my New Year, New Start from the Native Proverb one that I'm going to show you in a minute, because I forgot to show you my new starts, to this one. I'm going to start that one, because I think New Year, New Start, that would be cool. So, and I think I could finish that a lot sooner than Native Proverb. So
Probably.
it's a lot of half stitches.
Oh, yeah, so you only have to do... Yeah, the purple background, I think, is just half stitches.
Right.
If I'm reading that right.
And I might not even do the purple background. I might
Let the
do the
fabric do
whales
things. Yeah.
and do some of the white maybe,
Yeah.
and see if that'll work instead. So pretty cool. Another one I'm doing, Kevin on Accio Whip keeps showing this. I've always wanted to do a Satsuma Street, but I don't like sequins, and a lot of their things have sequins on them. And I just fell in love with this one. I can't find the fabric anywhere. I did go ahead and get suckered into buying the
You don't mean that. That's where I put my new
Cosmo threads that it calls for, because I just want to do what it looks like. But the fabric Weeks doesn't make Ada. At least I couldn't find anywhere that sold Weeks Ada. So I ordered something called Sunflower from Witchy Station, I think it is. And hopefully it will work. This is another one. This is a small. It's actually 3 smalls that I could do. I could make 3 little hoops. I don't know if I have 3 little hoops to do them with, but those would be cute little ornaments. And I have 3 finishes in that little itty bitty thing. So I don't know where that came from, but I love it. This one is an LKA Cross one. Laka. It's Ukrainian. A lot of the pattern I can't even read because it's Ukrainian. Look at that. It's called Orca Kiss. It's a little girl and a whale coming out. I got to pet a whale once, and it was an orca. But they make you take everything off, including your glasses. So I did see its big eye staring at me, but I just had to go by the feel, because without my glasses, I was kind of helpless. I have been looking for a replacement for the mermaid on Summer Quaker, because I don't want to do that mermaid, and it's kind of paralyzed me into not doing it, not working on it. And I was on Etsy looking up whales, and look what came up. Look at all these different whales I could put in there. Oh, there's so many choices. So I got to look at it and figure out what I'm going to do. Where'd this come from? Does it say? I don't think it does.
Because I was thinking the same thing, as I wanted to put it in the drop-down box.
I couldn't find anything that
it
said.
might be contraband.
This is another one from Needleart Designs.
That's the Celestial
Needleart
Orcas.
Designs.
That's your Celestial Orcas.
Oh, shoot.
Did I make 2 copies of the Celestial Orcas? No, you haven't done this one.
I don't know how it got
They just
next
got
in the
mixed
pile.
up. I just
Okay, the last one I got ordered is that you see now. I have other, not patterns, but other things coming that I've ordered. This is Mini Chipmunk Monochrome. I've always wanted to do a Stitching Jules design. Look at that little chipmunk. Now, chipmunks are brown with black and white stripes. A lot of people, think they're black, but nope, the black and white stripe wouldn't show as well if it didn't have that little brown on them.
Correct.
I don't know how I'm going to do this, but it's a mini, and it's like 110 by 87. But it's a Stitching Jules design. I'm so excited because I'll be able to start a Stitching Jules and a Satsuma Street in the same year.
Wow.
So there were 2 designers on my list that I'm very happy about.
Well, I made an order to 123 Stitch and picked up a couple of patterns. And the first one is Coffee Stitch Wonder, Cross Stitch Wonders, and it's coffee, 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 and the coffee beans. Well, it's just coffee and the coffee beans. And I don't think I'm gonna stitch the background. I think I'm gonna get an over-dyed fabric. I've got some 20 count that'd be perfect for that. And then the other one is this big mug with the embroidery hoop in it.
Cross stitch crazy? Is that
Yep.
what it says?
Yep. And the embroidery hoop has hearts and a needle and thread. And that's on my pattern.
You're gonna make it a
patterns.
cuff like your other one?
I don't know if it's gonna. It looks like they put theirs on. They put it on a matching wood blank, but they put it on 8 count. I'm not putting it on 8 count.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I think I'll do it on 20 count and see if it fits on one of my mugs, my thing. And then I had some fabric on my wish list. I wanted some 20 count, and this actually says it's 20 count Lugana, which is interesting. It's white. And then this is called Nirvana. It's a blue. They're all 20 count. This one's Mushroom Lugana. And then the lavender.
These all the same count.
Yeah, they're all 20 count. And then apple green. I wanted to try them. And then I picked up some more limestone Lugana. It's 32 count because I'm doing the beach boardwalk series, and I wanted to make sure I had enough fabric because I was doing it on 32 count limestone.
Okay.
I mean, I had 2 pieces in there, and I know there's not but 7 of them. I can't remember. And so I wanted, but I'd had these other 20 count Luganas. I couldn't remember if they were Lugana or Ada in my wish list, and so now they're not on my wish list anymore. That's it.
All right. So the next thing on our list is needles up, isn't it?
I do believe so.
Before we do needles up, I'm going to slip in tools of the tube because we didn't really have that officially anywhere.
That's true.
And I have been a little frustrated lately because it seems like every pair of scissors I picked up was dull and it was grinding at the threads instead of snipping like they used to. And most of my scissors are 20 some years old. I bought a whole bunch of those ice cream scissors remember the ice cream scissors and the scissors that had little sheaths on them?
Oh, yeah.
At Hobby Lobby, and they're like $3.99 special, and they worked really well though. So I was getting ready to just toss some of them and just replace them all when I remembered that for my scrapbooking, I had a scissor sharpener that I use on my cutter bee scissors for paper that really work on the cutter bees very well. So I dug in my desk, and sure enough, I had one that I hadn't even taken out of the package, but it's been taken out of the package now. Here's the package. It's a Fiskars sharpener, is all it says. And it's for scissors. And you take your scissors and put each blade in one of these holes, and you just grind them back and forth. Just open and shut the scissors and grind them against that little stone.
Sharpens it.
It worked on every pair of scissors but 2. 2 were so badly done that
You just need to do it more often.
I couldn't get them done, so I threw them away because they were like 20 plus years old anyway. And I decided, hey, I get to go buy 2 more pair of scissors.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow to buy 2 more pair of scissors because I do like to have my scissors in every place I can be, every station in the house.
Sounds like
My
reading
travel
glasses.
project, my, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the tools of the tube section. And now we're into needles up. We haven't really done a real needles up.
No, it's been a while.
That's
And
going
I haven't watched
down.
I haven't watched a whole lot of. There we go. Anyway, let's make y'all get sick there. I haven't watched a whole lot of floss tubes, but since I'm the finisher, I like to watch tutorials. And the Ginger Cat Stitcher came up with some tutorials, and I watched a couple of them, and I liked them. And so, give her a shot.
How long is she?
I didn't look to see what the dates were on that. It was
She's been around for a long time?
I have no idea. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention on that. I like the tutorials that I watched, and so I hadn't gone back. She has more tutorials than she does floss tubes. So, I mean, regular floss tubes.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see. I really haven't been watching a whole lot of floss tubes because they're retreat recaps, door tours, Halloween, spooky. I'm not into any of that stuff. So there's very few that I watch. And I was watching 3 or 4 a day, and now I'm lucky if I can get 2 a day. So anyway, I did have 5, I think it is, that I want to mention. The first one is called Stitched by Liz, and it's in Australia. Liz, L-I-Z. And she has a black kitten named Vader, named after Darth Vader, because it's all black. And they're so much into fantasy and sci-fi and stuff like that. Her husband Ross edits the show, so while she's talking, he's making silly comments over to the side. What really got me and made me want to mention her this time is that she finished Max. She had taken a picture of her sister's cat and created the pattern somehow. I don't know how she did it. And she's finished stitching it. And it looks like you could pet the cat right there. I mean, it is so well done. It's amazing. Also, I wanted to mention her because she's starting a SAL for any stitch-related item that is related to a book. So if you're doing a whole bunch of Harry Potters or Lord of the Rings, that's fine. But you could also do, like I have Wilbur the Pig, which is Charlotte's Web. I have Eat, Pray, Love. It's actually called Manta's Life by Ink Circles that I'll be doing this year. I am an ex-librarian and English teacher, so I'm definitely interested in the books part. The next one I wanted to mention is Runner Stitcher. Now, he's been mentioned by a lot of people, and I toyed with not even mentioning him, but he's worth mentioning because he makes me raise my eyebrows, and he has Winston the Chihuahua. I love to see the pets. Poor Winston has a smile as bad as mine. But he just ran the New York Marathon 3 weeks after he'd run the Chicago Marathon, which is really, it shouldn't be done. I think you damage your body, but he did it.
It's all over mind over matter.
And seems young enough to have gotten through it. So, but one thing that he stitches that I really love is Saga by Long Dog Samplers. And what he does is after he finishes an arch with the characters and stuff, he reads the story that goes along with it. I did not realize Saga had little stories that went with each arch. So he reads it to us when he finishes it. He sits there and reads the story. I think that's so cool. The next one is new to me. Her name is Violet Stitcher. Her name is actually, I think it is actually Violet. And she did kind of a whip, it was kind of a whip parade, but not quite. She did a lot of full coverages. She does a lot of full coverages. And this time she had like 10 dragons that were more than like half done, and they were gorgeous. I mean, blew my mind. But even more than that, she had a full coverage on the Wind in the Willows. And it was, man, if I could do full coverage, that'd be the first one I pick up. Coverage. Well, if I could do full coverage in my lifetime.
It's one stitch at a time, just like everything else.
Anyway, I loved her Wind in the Willows, so she's worth a watch. Floss, paper, scissor. It used to be running with
scissors,
stitching with Jane and Julie. And I really related to Jane. But Jane became very ill, and she just gave up stitching and everything. And Julie explains that in a 3-minute update.
She does, yeah.
and it sends you over to the new channel that she's created with her daughter, which is Floss, Paper, Scissor. It was mainly an introduction about what's going to happen, and then their adventures at Welcome Stitchery, because they love that place in Blue Earth, Minnesota.
It's only 17 hours from us.
Home of the Green Giant. So
Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah, the Jolly Green Giant. They have the statue to prove it. So
And Sprout.
And Sprout. And the last one is a brand new stitcher. And I don't know her name. I forgot to write it down. But she's called the Max Color Stitcher. And because she's in the other side of the world, she spells color C-O-L-O-U-R. She did a whip parade. She has 22 whips. And that girl, woman, is so talented. They're amazing and worth the watch.
What are her whips?
Mostly, it's all full coverage,
Okay,
and it's
yeah,
all max color, and it's all
max size.
Max, everything's max. I mean,
that's way.
I've never seen anybody do, but they're gorgeous because
they are because of that. Yes,
but oh my goodness gracious, they're gorgeous though. Oh my goodness, I could not believe how pretty they were. So while we're on the subject of needles up, I wanted to bring up the Cornhusker Stitchers, because it's not really a needles up portion as much as it's an information thing. They have a cross stitch quilt small store in their, like in the mother's home, I believe. I'm not sure. And so on Etsy, they're called Heartland Quilt Stitch. And they're starting a sow that is done by Sweet Wing Studio. It's called the Wordy Bird. And every month during the year of 2025, they will have the patterns sent to you, either by PDF or by mail. As well as, if you want, you can get the DMC for it sent as well. I chose the PDF because I'm cheapskate and I don't like to pay for all that shipping. But I decided to invest in it because I love Sweet Wing Studio. And I already saw January's pattern, and allegedly we'll get January's pattern actually in November so that we can have it done by January. So it's, it's working that way. And I love that thought, because it's kind of hard to do a January pattern in January knowing you're not going to get it done in January.
Well, it's not this year.
I won't. Let's just put it that way. So, and also along, it's not really needle stuff. It's not really a floss tube, but there's a Facebook group called Stitch Across the Pond. Might even be Stitch Across the Pond in chat. I'm not sure, but it's Stitch Across the Pond, and it's administered by Tiny House Stitcher and Stitches and Diamonds. Although Stitches and Diamonds is not very active anymore. I think her last floss tube was a year ago.
Well, she's busy with, she arranges some of those big stitching things they have in England.
And she's dyeing fabric now, Swan Bay fabrics. They're gorgeous. Again, I'm cheapskate and I don't even want to think about the shipping.
Oh no, shipping from England is not cheap.
But they are gorgeous. Somi Sarah has been showing them. Now, Somi Sarah organized the sow for that group, which I will not be doing. It's called One Stitch at a Time.
Yes.
It says, beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. It's a sampler. I don't do samplers. So, I'm not going to do that. But Sally and I got on and did the Zoom.
Yes, it was fun.
And it was very interesting. A lot of people from the United States, they limit it to 50 at a time, which I like, because when I get on ones that have 90, I just get off because I'm overwhelmed by all the people. But this one I kind of enjoyed because it was interesting to see all the different stitchers that everyone shared what they were working on. Some of them shared a whole lot more than that. And and they talked about the sow, and it was very educational, informational, and entertaining. So if you get a chance, but you have to get your ticket pretty quickly, because again, it's limited to 50 around the world.
Yes.
So you have to get in there. I can't remember who all did we. A lot of people in the United States. We had several people from Canada,
and
a lot of people from the UK.
UK, yeah.
Yeah. Australia.
Ukraine too.
We did have one Ukrainian. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. So if you get a chance, you really should do it.
Took my mind off the fact that Clemson was losing at that time, but then they came back and won, so it was great.
Sally was keeping track of the game while that was going on.
I was watching. I was listening. I was taking care of the Carolina game too.
So, with all that said, I think we can move on to plans.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What are your plans?
I'm gonna finish that Paisley Pumpkin, and I want to finish my Hexie cardigan I'm working on. It's in Christmas colors.
Paisley Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. Yes.
Then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fully finish it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen people doing it on. I believe Chantel 141 might have a
board,
a
backer
for it.
board. I have a couple
I'm
of
not
things
sure.
that I could use at the
A
house.
lot of people have been finishing it on those big pumpkins they're getting at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, there's that, or I might make me a project bag.
I think that would be excellent.
Yeah.
You could have fall projects in it or something, you know.
Yeah,
That
that
would be
Paisley
cool.
Pumpkin's about the only fall thing I've stitched ever.
So, what is this? Nope. I put the wrong thing down. Okay. Where's this? Okay. One of the things I wanted to cover, I'm not planning on working on this right away, but I didn't show it in our New Start parade
You forgot.
because it was behind me on the chair.
That's right.
And I couldn't find it. But this comes from Cross Stitch from the Earth,
Emma Congdon.
Emma Congdon's book, and this is one of them. And it says, "We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children." And it's a Native American proverb, so I call it Native Proverb right now. It'll probably be shortened to Whale Proverb. There's whales down at the bottom.
I like the jellyfish.
All that, I like the ocean and all that stuff, so I like the sun too. I think that's an interesting sun
It
to
is.
stitch. So I'll
In the
be
mountains.
starting this after I finish Celestial Orcas. It was going to be my New Year New Start, but the Celestial Orcas kind of bumped it out a place.
There you go.
So, and I've already got it in the Q-snap with my little light bulb whale. He might be moved to Celestial Orcas for a little while. But it's all kitted up. All my New Start, oh my goodness, are all kitted up. So,
You had an explosion there, Angie.
do you want to show one of yours that you're going to work on? Or?
I've shown Paisley Pumpkin. That's
Okay.
I want to get that going. I didn't really bring a lot of things there showing
Okay.
plans because
Well,
I have
one
some
of the
ornaments
things
that
I
I've
want to
finished.
work on, I'm not going to finish, is I've got the first dragon finished on Enchanted Realms,
Oh yeah, I need to work on
but
that.
I want to finish the second and third dragons. So I'm going to finish another dragon. Right now the pink one looks like Nessie,
It does.
and
Even from the backside.
the green one, well, it's actually a blue face.
With a
But
teal wing.
It's got teal wings, and I haven't done the body and the other wing.
What's coming up with that other dragon?
This one?
No, this one. It looks like a
That's
unicorn.
not a dragon. That's half of a tree.
Oh.
Remember those
Oh, I don't
funky
remember
things?
what's on the
It's
inside.
going to be green on the other side,
because
exactly
it looks
the
like
same.
a unicorn horn that's just
No,
floating.
that's just one of the trees that I started because I had brown on, because of the horns,
Yeah.
I had brown on my needle.
I gotcha.
So I did one of
That
the
flower
trees.
in the mermaid, I almost thought it was a bead.
Yeah. So, anyway, I've been, when I work on the pink, I finish the star, when I
I do
finish,
that too if I had thread in it and I could go somewhere else.
I went wherever I could finish the thread. So I'm going to do one of the dragons right now. Now, I agreed to work on this because when we first looked at it, it had 3 dragons in the center. And it's the year of the dragon. I didn't have a dragon piece, and I thought, okay. But now we got all kinds of weird creatures on it.
Well, it is enchanted.
I'm okay with the mermaids.
realm.
Yeah. But I don't like the goblins.
It's got gnomes on it too.
And I'm not a big fan of gnomes. So anyway, I'm going to finish the dragons this year, and I will promise you, I'm not doing next year's year. Because it's year of the snakes.
Yeah, I don't think there are any snakes.
I will not
in
be
that
doing
one.
snakes.
Nope, me neither. I don't
On
do snakes.
anything. And if you're showing snakes on your floss tube, I'll be fast forwarding.
I don't like spiders either.
Yeah, well, I can take some that look like Charlotte on Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, but the ones up there,
I don't like the creepy ones.
Yeah,
that,
no, I don't like the
Amy's
ones that are like this
toads
big.
or something.
Amy loves toads.
Amy loves toads. She's done some spider ones, I think, and so has Animal Instincts. She's had some interesting ones. The people who do the spooky ones, they do, they do all those weird. No. Okay, so what else?
I
am
do have a
working
Christmas
on?
spider. It's a beaded one that you put in your tree.
3 more actually that I plan to work on.
Oh, okay. See, I just talk about them. I don't actually bring the projects to show you.
Well, since I have it, I want to work on the walrus from Polar Plunge because the 24th is Walrus Day. So I'll start it.
On the 24th of
On the
November?
24th. It's a Sunday, so it's going to get into my Sabbath stitching, but I'm still going to start him. And here we have one of my 6x60s. I finished the top line that says Harbor Strength. And I call it Harbor Strength because of that. I never remember Ocean of Wisdom 2, which is actually what it's called. I'm going to start the second line, which is Watch the Whales. And it's got a seagull that starts the line on a post. And it's got a whale in the waves. So this is one of the 6x60s that I hope to finish this year because it's mainly words and wiggle lines and not a whole lot of
Colors,
stitches.
yeah, not a lot of shading.
Yeah. So I want to get to working on Watch the Whales line. And because it's one of my 6x60s, I would like to finish 2 6x60s this coming year, the peacock and that one. So, and I didn't pull out the peacock because ninja stitches are killing me.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Anyway, I'm giving myself a blue ribbon start because I got 2 blue ribbons and this has 2 pieces in it. So I'm going to do the donkey Biscornu. I'm going to start it. It's another one I hope to finish for the fair. I think this Biscornus are cute little things to see at the fair that you don't see a whole lot of.
Candy submitted a couple of them.
I'm doing it on green, which I believe is Honeydew Ada.
It is.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's Honeydew.
It doesn't say.
Yeah, I
It
think,
says Mr. Green, but I'm pretty sure it's Honeydew.
Yeah, it looks like Honeydew.
So, anyway.
Is that Rogue?
Oh, yes, it's Rogue. And I got this at Stitchin Kitten. She helped me pick it out. And when you buy fabric at Stitchin Kitten, if you have the pattern right there that you buy the fabric for, she will cut and serge it for you.
And give you other. And you buy it by the half yard. I mean,
Right.
by the
Fat
quarter,
quarter,
fat
fat
yard,
half.
fat half, and whatever. But then she'll fussy cut it for you and then give you the other piece to take home with you too.
So, as well as that, where's the Happy Campers? That's the one I'm missing.
I don't know where your Happy Campers is.
What's this?
Mine's at home.
10 Little Indians.
I don't think you have it over
The
there.
Happy Campers. Oh, I
Or
crunched it.
It crunched in. Oh,
I think I crunched it. Yep,
Oh, okay.
this is it.
I got you.
Happy Campers. Well, I'm doing the Indian with the campfire, roasting marshmallows. And on Happy Campers, guess what we have? We have 2 beavers. Or
A beaver and
a hedgehog.
hedgehog or a porcupine.
Or a
That might be a
porcupine.
porcupine.
Don't know what it
Not
is.
sure.
But I'm doing vignettes off of this, and I'm only doing the part with the beaver on it. Beaver and whatever that other animal is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using, where'd my blue go?
Well, there's a blue in here.
Oh, that's why. I got blue fabric in there because I'm using that blue fabric because I just didn't want to put that on brown when there's blue water and
Wait a minute. You're going to do the dog and the two dogs in the canoe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Blue.
I'm doing green fabric. Sorry.
There's the green.
I'm doing green fabric. So, and I believe that's the honeydew spritz that's left over.
I think so.
So, I can't close that without that. So that's the last, I believe, plan I have. Yep.
We had a lot to discuss, so it's always good to take notes or make notes. Okay.
Yeah, I had to because my brain is a lot of fog in there. So for a life update, just a little bit, I felt like that would be pretty cool to share a life update. First of all,
Free to do it. I did too.
I voted.
My civic duty.
I didn't put my sticker on because I want to show you. I voted. I did my part, and now that I've done my part, you're not going to hear me spouting about it.
Nope.
My friends aren't going to hear me spouting about it. This is what I say when people try to talk about it.
Talk to the head.
Because what I do is I let my congressman or my representative or whoever know there's so much you can just go online so easily and send them a message and get your frustrations out and be done with it. So, and if they reply to you with a real letter, not a blank blanket letter.
I've gotten a blanket letter before.
If they reply to you, you can take them seriously. If they don't reply, don't vote for them next year.
Correct.
That's the way I feel. So I keep track of how they vote, yes or no, and whenever there's a vote going on.
That's public record.
It's all public and it's all online. Rather than listen to all the junk that everybody has on there, that's what I do. So just want to let you know, I did my responsibility of voting. And now my responsibility is to keep my mouth shut and let my representatives know if there's anything that needs to be done. That's all our responsibilities. So that's the only political message you're going to get from me.
Yep.
The second thing is I'm hopefully moving. I got a line on a apartment with a walk-in shower. I would have to leave towns, but I'd be closer to Sally. And there's a lot of benefits, but there's also I'll be away from my Hartsville friends. So my Hartsville stitching on Mondays would stop. But you just have to go where you can. And I've got back surgery coming up, and I will not be able to get into the shower tub at all by then. But now it's like in the winter, it's like 4 or 5 days before I can get in the shower because I just can't lift my feet over the tub. So I'm so excited that there's a chance that I'll be moving. It is more expensive place because they only have 2-bedroom, 2-bath places. But the master bedroom has a walk-in shower and it'll be on the bottom floor. So I'm going to go tomorrow for a tour and fill out an application and we'll see what happens. I spoke to my manager here today because they said they had walk-in showers here, but they don't. They just have those wheelchair tubs, which you have to lift your feet even higher over to get to the shower. So that's not going to happen. And I asked her, are you going to have a problem with me moving? And she said, no, that's common sense. And you let us know officially that you need a handicapped apartment and a walk-in shower. And we should have done that because they're going to be doing walk-in showers someday. So I hope I'm moving.
You're not holding your breath on that one now.
I'm going to be doing a lot more planning. I'm thinking about doing the Year of Whips with the Soulful Stitcher runs. You have to go to her Facebook. She doesn't talk very much about it on her Flosstubes, but sometime like the first, very close now, they're going to be talking about how many minimum whips you can do. What you do is you tell them the number of whips you plan on finishing by this year. It was December 18th. Who knows what next year is going to be. And you have to finish at least half of them. You create a photo album. I don't know how you do that, so I'm waiting to see how you do that. And you give them, progress as you go. And when you finish, and you got to do at least half of them to qualify for the prize.
Right.
But I'm thinking of 12. I might lower it to 10. It just depends. But I'm thinking I'm going to put 12 because I think I can finish 6. I hope to finish 6. And I'm putting pretty big projects on there for right now. So
Big for you.
Big for me.
Not big for me.
But, you know, I'm not putting the walrus down from Polar Plunge. They're bigger than that, you know. So
okay.
We'll see. So Magazine Monthly has a Zoom coming up. I think it's Saturday. Might be next Saturday.
Is that Carolyn Zook?
Carolyn Zook, and they're going to talk about ear whips. So I'm going to watch it or get on there and see what they're doing, I hope. It's also the same day as our Stitchin Zoom
EGA,
for EGA, our regional embroidery.
It's going on
guild.
right now, but we're
yeah,
in the middle of filming.
we couldn't do today, so maybe we can do Saturdays. Also, I plan on following Craft and Books has a Zoom a lot, and the next Zoom is going to be a challenge Zoom where you work on and show projects that are creating a challenge for you to finish.
Is that Beth the Steadfast Teacher?
Yes, that's run by Beth Twist?
No, Beth. I just know Beth. I don't know her last
she
name.
Is the Steadfast Stitcher. And her Facebook group is called Craft and Books. So you have to go on Craft and Books to register for the Zoom. But I thought that would be interesting. It made me work on my hardest project, you know. And, yeah, that's 3 Zooms coming up. I don't know when we're going to do. Hopefully we're going to do one more in November. Hopefully before Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is kind of late this year.
It is, and I don't have to walk Maverick that week because they're off of school the whole week of Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, the only thing life-wise that's not stitching I've got coming up is a neurologist appointment for my back surgery, because Medicare, of course, denied it. They do that the first, second, third time they deny something. You have to cross all your T's and dot your I's. So I'm meeting with a neurologist November 26th before Thanksgiving, and hopefully we'll come up with a plan or another way to submit the facet joint replacement, my L5, and see what happens. If not, we may be talking about sending me to an orthopedist or whoever, orthopedic surgeon, to get my hip replaced. Something's got to give, though, because of the pain. And I'm doing anything right now. You know, they say cross stitch is therapy. For me, it's also a distraction. I try to keep my mind occupied. Like this week, it was psoriasis. I itched like crazy. I feel like I have a sunburn and I'm itching all over the place. So I've got to go see a dermatologist and see. Right now I'm taking Humira for that. And they might have to up the dose or something. I don't know, because I've been on the same dose for 3 years. So maybe I have to up the dose. Something's got to give, because I couldn't stitch for like the last 5 days because I itch so much. I just hold myself like this. Sometimes I rub my arms, keep myself from scratching. Even cross stitch has not been a distraction from this psoriasis. So a lot of times, though, it's a distraction for me, and as well as therapy. And of course, we have Hartsville Stitching coming Monday. On Mondays, we meet at the library. Every Monday that the library is open, we meet. So
they weren't open yesterday, were they?
Yeah, we didn't get to go yesterday, and I'm like dying to get together. First of all, I want to see if anybody's interested in all these bell pulls, so I can give them away. And I just haven't seen them. It's been more than a week. So I don't know how some of you get by without friends to stitch with, or, you know, something. Now that Sally showed me more about Zooms, I'm hoping to get on more Zooms. I'm even thinking about the Jingle Ball.
Seriously?
Just because I don't want any of the patterns or all that. Well, I might find patterns on there that are they're exclusive.
Right, for a year at least.
But I'm not doing any of the classes.
Right.
You know,
I'm sure the classes are already filled.
But I want to meet the Stitchers and I want
The
to
designers?
see, the designers, sorry. And I want to, they have an entertainment thing where the designers entertain the group. They sing and dance and do all kinds of silly stuff. And
You know what weekend that is, don't you?
No.
It's the same weekend as our EGA luncheon get together. It's that weekend.
It's first weekend in December.
The first full weekend in December.
I won't be doing it during that time because I'm going to our party then.
Yeah, but I think it starts on. Check the dates because it goes a couple of days.
Yeah, it's 2 days. It's I think it's Friday and Saturday,
Sunday.
Or Saturday and Sunday.
I think Saturday and Sunday. You can do Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and Sunday.
I didn't plan on being there for everything. I just want to, and they have a thing like on Thursday before everything starts. They said.
Oh, okay.
So, and I just want to see what kind of merchandise because last year people have been showing things they got at the Jingle Ball that were exclusive that nobody could get for a year, and so I just want to be the first to see some of this stuff and see if I'm interested in doing it. I probably won't be now that I can get it. When I couldn't get it, I wanted it. So, anyway, there's a lot going on in the cross stitch world, even though we're getting close to the holidays. So, watch your floss tubes, do your cross stitching, do your Zooms, stay involved with groups whenever you can at your local needlework place or in libraries or at the Panera, wherever stitchers are meeting near you. Do what you can to be part of the community because it's a great community and it will uplift you. So, with that said, it's been an hour and a half almost. So, that's pretty long for us. So, we're going to stop now because I've been running my mouth so much. We got to stop and say, that's all, folk.
Bye.
Bye.